What's going on, guys? It's Zed. I'm back with another guide for you for Borderlands, and today I'm doing the Gunzerker, the most overpowered MFer in the entire game. This guy, if you want to build the glass cannon, and you want to build one that's going to do the most damage, min-max to your maximum, this is the guy you want to use. And this here is the quick guide of what to do with the talents. Let's get started.
Alright, so here's a quick breakdown of my build and how I do it. As you can see, I've got, 15, 22 points worth of skills in the first tree, Gunlust, which is an awesome tree. The main tree is obviously the Rampage tree for me, and it's 33 points in here. And the last tree, I only put 1 point in for the Hard to Kill ability. And I do that because if you have, I should say, the legendary class mod, then that adds an automatic 5 points on top of that. So you get 6 for the cost of 1. Really just makes sense if you're leveling, especially if you have the level 51 Gunzerker legendary mod, so it's definitely good to use. Now this is the build that I would use for the Gunzerker because I am all about damage. Again, I build glass cannons when I build my classes, and as you might have noticed if you checked out some of my previous vids, I might have rushed a couple of them out early. So this one I decided to really take my time and do a lot more testing. So I literally spent frame testing time. So I was literally looking at stuff frame by frame to see how much damage certain things do, and that should be visible in this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the music in the background. I hope it's all a wonderful experience for you. So let's get into the video.
Locked and Loaded is obviously the first one you're going to pick up after your Gunzerker ability. It gives you an increased fire rate after reloads. So I like how I broke this down, and I hope it's a good visual for you guys. One clip is 3,230,000 damage. On the left side, you're going to see the amount of reloads you do over a 1 minute span without the ability, and on the right you'll see it with the ability, 10 talent points. And the difference in clips are on the left hand side, you get 12 clips in a 1 minute period for 38,760,000, and then on the right hand side you've gotten 14 clips for 45,240,000 on the right hand side with the 10 points in the talent. So that makes up a difference of 6,460,000. That's a pretty significant difference for a 30% increase. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the specifics of that increase because a lot of the math in this game is predicated on base values that I don't know unless I specifically went through the game mechanics and coding to figure it out. So it says 30%, I'm just going to have to take that at face value. So the next one is I'm Your Huckleberry, which increases damage and reload speed with pistols, which is very important because with this build, it's all about the pistols. And as you can see, again, it'll be the same basic setup. So one clip will be equal to 3,247,000. The zero talent side, that's obviously the side that's being shown the rate of fire with no talents. The one on the right is the one with 5 talents. On the left side, you will end up getting, again, 12 clips that will equal up to 38,964,000, again, because the damage is increased for this one, so that's why there's a slight damage difference. And on the right side, you're going to see 15 clips, so one more clip than the last round, at 48,705,000. So that's a pretty significant boost right there, and that's only with 5 talent points in it. So between the two, though, 12 clips and 15 clips, that's a difference now of 9,741,000. So that's a pretty significant boost. And keep in mind, too, with this build, I use the double uncapped heralds, and those do nasty, nasty explosive damage, and are really especially useful on bigger bosses and bigger mobs. So let's head over to the next talent. Alright, Divergent Likeness. When gunzerking with 2 guns of the same type, you deal bonus damage. When gunzerking with 2 different types, you gain bonus accuracy. So basically I'm going to show you the bonus damage, which this is a very weird thing. The gun on the left does not get your B bonus, and there's a lot of other things that do not affect your gun on the left. I don't understand why. It's been brought up in the forums. It's a really weird thing. But without any of the added talents in it, this is the damage it does. 191,000 and 11,000 for your left gun. So with the 5 talents, it should give us 30% increased damage and 30% increased accuracy. Now the gun damage I can break down the mathematical value, but the accuracy I cannot do because I don't know the difference. So as you can see now, you are doing 194k for your right gun, so basically a 3k increase, and you're doing 14k on your left gun, which again a 3k increase. So it appears to be a static increase on both sides, but they're using some sort of coefficient in this because I don't see a 30% increase. Mathematically, you see, I believe, a 17% increase, or no, even less than that. Anyways, so now I'm going to show you the difference with the accuracy, which I can't really give you a percentage amount because I can't really do the math for it, but I can show you on the box. As soon as I hit my ability, the box is where the little brackets, or the box, the AoE box was before. Now you can see there's about maybe 10 dot difference between where the original box was and where it goes when you go into your Gunzerker. And then the outside box was just to represent when you're firing with a gun that's not a Malawan gun, how open it gets. A money shot! The last round of your clip does increase damage. I believe it goes up to 400%, yes. So obviously your clip size has to be at least 10 to get full damage out of it, and you will see here in a second it'll freeze frame. 1,111,000, that's beast! That is ridiculous. So it's really good to have, especially with one of the other abilities later on that allow you to sometimes gain ammunition for free. So I've had strings of empty clips just firing that one shot over and over again, so that's ridiculous. I really love that. But let's head on to the next talent. Moving on up to Quick Draw. So Quick Draw is basically increased weapon swap speed and critical hit damage with all gun types. The swap speed, basically, that's just gravy, but the critical hit damage is why I picked up this talent for 1 point and gaining the 5 from the legendary class mod. So as you can see, I'm doing 426k crits without any talents into it, and with 6 that increases to 472k crits, an increase of 46k damage per crit. So that's a pretty damn good talent to pick up, especially if the bosses have a very big crit zone. And obviously I'm not using this gun, this one's just for demonstration purposes only. So let's head on to the next talent. Alright, Hard to Kill is the next talent I pick up. I only put 1 point into it, again, making use of that legendary class mod. So my starting health is 154,699, but with 6 talent points it boosts me up to 187,895 for an increase of 33,196 health, or 17%. So the math, again, I'm not quite sure where the math is going with that, because there's probably either some coefficients or a base value there somewhere I don't know about, but that's the on top base increase. So let's head on to the next talent. Alright, next up we've got Inconceivable! Your shots have a chance to not consume ammo. The lower your health and shields, the greater the chance of free ammo! So basically, if your shields are full, this pretty much never works. I tested this the other day. So basically, you don't want to really be using a B shield with this. So what I would say is I still put 5 points into this because I like to use it for when I do actually lose my B shield. And obviously, you know, not very much shielding for it, so good chance you'll have no shields at all with one hit, and you'll be getting that 50% pretty quick. Now I would also use something like a Rough Rider or another shield that has a long recharge time, just to make use of this while, say, running through a level, because then that way you're consuming a lot less ammo, and it works really well in tandem with the other ability where the last shot out of your gun does 400% extra damage. I can't remember the talent off the top of my head, but there are times, like I've said before, where you can shoot that last shot 3 to 4 times in a row, and that is a significantly large amount of damage. Anyways, let's head on to the next talent. Alright, the next talent we've got is Filled to the Brim, an absolutely mandatory talent that you'll need. As you can see, I'm showing you right now what my ammo pools look like without it, and then with it, a 77% increase in your ammo pools and a 50% increase on your clip. So this is Why I say this is mandatory is because you need large ammo pools. The Gunzerker, when he's Gunzerking, runs through so much ammo, it's ridiculous, and as you can see stated on the screen, everything across the board is 77% increased except for submachine gun ammo, which is at 73%, because I would assume that that pool is already so large that they kind of brought that one down a little bit. Anyways, without this talent, you are going to run out of ammo very quickly. Let's head on to the next talent. Alright, our next talent is Last Longer, something that every woman wants. 15 more seconds. No, they definitely want a lot more than that. But anyways, 15 extra seconds of Gunzerking, that's the most you'll get from 5 talents. And it honestly is one of the best ones because it'll give you a good bonus time on your Gunzerking. There are other talents that will reduce the timer, which I will also be picking up, but there's one we will avoid simply because it's a kill skill and it's a bit overkill. You don't need too many reducing talents, because with the 2 that I'm picking up, you're basically going to be having your Gunzerking come off cooldown with maybe 2 seconds left before the next Gunzerking can take place. So this will actually reduce you down to 35 seconds, or bring you up to 35 seconds, sorry, as where normally it's 20 seconds. Let's head to the next talent. Alright, our next 2 abilities are Steady as She Goes, pretty self-explanatory, recoil reduction of 80%, and chance to improve accuracy of 30%. We'll head on over to I Am Ready Already, which basically increases the cooldown rate of your Gunzerking ability, which means it overall 5 points will shave 5 seconds off of your total time. Your usual time of 30 seconds becomes 25 seconds. You'll see I break it down, margin of error for like a couple milliseconds here and there, obviously because 1, I'm not perfect, and 2, the programming also is not perfect because sometimes the animations will slow things up a bit. So as you can see here, top left is your cooldown with 5 points and your cooldown without 5 points. Visual representations, and boom, there you go. Let's head on to the next one. Double Your Fun is easily one of my favorite 1-point talents in the game. You now throw 2 grenades at the same time while Gunzerking. This is ridiculous. Now I'm using some kind of crappy legendary. It's really good against robots because, I mean, look at that acid damage. But if you were to take 2 of Boom Boom's grenades, say the time 10 children grenades, which are not times 10, they're really times 20, and you're throwing 2 of those at a time for the cost of 1, and then you empty your entire inventory, which currently I'm at 9. I wanted to show you, but I don't have any. That would be ridiculous! Alright, now that I've cleaned my pants, I am back. Joygasm's over. Let's come to get some! Shooting the enemy decreases the cooldown on Gunzerking. This effect can only occur once every 3 seconds. So once every 3 seconds, you reduce the cooldown on your Gunzerking by 3 seconds, which is pretty awesome. And as you can see, again, I have visual representations to show you the difference in what will happen with and without this talent, and how quickly you can easily get your Gunzerking ability back. So it looks like it's going to be about 15 seconds. A little more than 15 seconds. 16.585. That's ridiculous compared to the regular 25 seconds that it would normally take with your previous cooldowns. So now every 16 seconds you can Gunzerk! Alright, we've got the last ability for the Rampage tree, which is keep firing while Gunzerking. You hold down the triggers. The longer you hold them down, the faster you fire and the faster you reload. Pretty self-evident. Top right will be the version of the video where you will see the ability in play, and the bottom left, the bigger screen, is the version that you will see to compare it against without the ability. So as you can see, I'm already getting 1 clip ahead, and it's only 3 clips in, so that's pretty cool. Within the 30 seconds or so that you're Gunzerking, you're going to end up with 8 clips versus 2 without this ability. So again, everything in this tree has been built around increased speed and increased damage. So this is a min-maxer's wet dream right here, and this class in general is just the best class to choose if you wanted to make the max DPS you could possibly do. Alright, so for your last 5 points, I would definitely say all in the reflexes. Some might go for Yippee-Ki-Yay. I will not say it's a bad idea, but it all depends on your playstyle. If you prefer to use that one, definitely use it. But I would go with the reload speed simply because that means more damage, shorter period of time. I'm always about the damage, the damage, the damage. That's what's important to me. So as you'll see here, the main screen will be the screen that has the ability, and the top right screen will be the screen that does not have the ability. So as you can see, it looks neck and neck right now, but I'm going to admit to you right now, before we get to the end of this part,
the main screen will be ahead by 1 clip. So it's not a huge difference, and I haven't broken down the numbers for you. But again, it all comes down to variance, and if you want to go for longer Gunzerker, then that's, you know, also good for you. But I prefer going with this because with my build, the Gunzerker Rage lasts until it's about to go off cooldown again. Just look at that. 2 seconds, already off cooldown. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to become part of the tribe by subscribing. Don't forget, it's free. And check out my homies. Links are all on their faces. Click on the faces. Click them. Click them.